Hey folks, welcome back. In this video we're going to go over 5 worked examples to show you how to do problems involving absolute refractive index, angle of incidence and angle of refraction. Now if you haven't already done so, check out my previous video covering the theory on this topic, and that way you can apply what you learned in that video to this one. So let's get started. Question 1 says light travels from air into glass. Part A says air and glass are two types of medium. What is a medium? Well, remember from the notes that a medium is a type of material in which light can travel. Part B says what is meant by refraction? Well, remember your definition from that 5 or from higher now is that refraction is the change in speed of light as it passes from one medium to another. And remember it doesn't always change direction. Part C says as the light enters the glass, describe what happens to the speed of light, the frequency of the light and the wavelength of the light. Well, going from a less dense medium into a more dense medium, remember the speed of light decreases, the frequency of the light should stay the same, and the wavelength of the light does the same as the speed. So if speed decreases, then the wavelength of the light decreases as well. Question 2 says light travels from air into clear plastic as shown below. So our air is on the left hand side, our plastic is on the right hand side, and we've got the light going from air into plastic here from left to right. And we've then got this dashed line shown here. And in part A it says label the normal on the above diagram. Well, remember the normal is the dashed line, so we can just put normal next to that. For part B, what is the angle of incidence here? Well, because we're going from air into the plastic here, remember the angle of incidence is the angle measured between the normal and the incident ray. So there's the normal, there's the incident ray. So although that's labelled 30 degrees in there, I don't want to use that. I'm interested in this angle here. So we can say that I is equal to 90 minus 30, which is equal to 60 degrees. Part C says, what is the angle of refraction here? Well, here we need to look on the right hand side, and remember the angle of refraction is measured between the normal and the refracted ray. So that would be this angle in here. So again, although this is labelled as 54 degrees, we don't want to think about that one, we want this angle in here. So we can say that little r for angle of refraction is equal to 90 minus 54, since that's an angle of 90 degrees in there, and doing that in your head or in your calculator gives you an answer of 36 degrees. Part D says what is meant by the absolute refractive index of a medium. Well, remember the definition for this that you should learn says that the absolute refractive index of a medium is the ratio of the speed of light in a vacuum to the speed of light in the medium. And a good way to remember that is the equation n equals v1 over v2, or an alternative form which is probably more helpful is n equals c divided by v, n equals c over v. Because that helps you remember that you've got speed of light in a vacuum c divided by the speed of light in the medium v. Lastly, part E says calculate the absolute refractive index for clear plastic in this case. Well, writing down what we know from the question, we're trying to calculate n. We know that theta 1 is 60 degrees, that was our angle of incidence that we wrote down in part B. In part C, we said the angle of refraction theta 2 in the medium is 36 degrees, and writing down our equation relating absolute refractive index, angle of incidence and angle of refraction, we have n equals sine theta 1 over sine theta 2. Substituting in the numbers gives sine 60 divided by sine of 36, and putting that into your calculator should give you an answer of 1.47. Question 3 says a ray of light travels from water to air as shown. So there's our air on the top and water on the bottom, and be careful here because notice how the light is going from the water into air. So it's going from the more dense medium into the less dense medium here. And we've got some angles labelled as well. So it says calculate the absolute refractive index of the water. Well, writing down what we know from the question, we're trying to find n. We know that theta 1 is 30 degrees here because remember theta 1 is always the angle in air, or the less dense medium, which is air in this case, and that angle is going to be the angle of refraction, which is the angle between the normal and the refracted ray. So theta 1 is angle in air, which is 30 degrees here, and theta 2 is angle in the denser medium, which is water, and that's the angle of incidence here, which is the angle between the normal and the incident ray, which is 22 degrees. So writing down our equation, we have n equals sine theta 1 over sine theta 2, substituting in the numbers gives sine of 30 over sine of 22, and putting that into your calculator should give you an answer of 1.33. And you'll find that value for the refractive index of water on the data sheet in your exam. So comparing them, we can see we got the right answer for water. Question 4 says a ray of light passes from glass into air and makes an angle of 50 degrees with the surface as shown below. So there's glass on the top and there's air on the bottom. So we've got light going from a denser medium into a less dense medium here. And we've got our normal labelled there as the dashed line. And it says for part A, what is the refractive index of air? Well, looking at the data sheet for values of absolute refractive index, you'll be able to see that for air we have n equals 1.00 or just 1. For B, it says what is the refractive index of glass? Well, looking at the data sheet, you'll see a value for crown glass of n equals 1.50 or just 1.5. And then for part C it says, is the angle of refraction θ1 or θ2 in this case? Well, notice how the instant ray is within the glass, so that means the angle of incidence is going to be in the glass, which is θ2, and therefore the angle of refraction is going to be the angle between the normal and the refracted ray, which is in the air. So that's going to take a value of θ1, because remember θ1 is always in the air or the less dense medium. So we could say here the angle of refraction is θ1 since this is in air. Part D says find the angle of refraction. Well, first we need to find the angle of incidence θ2. So to do this, let's look back at the diagram. So from the diagram, remember we're saying the instant ray is in the glass, so the angle of incidence must be between the normal and the instant ray. So if this is 50 degrees in here, we just need to take 50 away from 90 to find this angle of incidence in here. So we can say that θ2 is equal to 90 minus 50, which is equal to 40 degrees. And now we can calculate the angle of refraction θ1. So writing down what we know from the question, we're trying to find θ1. We know that n, the absolute refractive index for the denser medium here, is 1.50 for the glass, and θ2 is equal to 40 degrees for the angle of incidence. So writing down our equation, we have n equals sine θ1 over sine θ2. Substituting in the numbers gives 1.50 equals sine of θ1 over sine of 40, and then multiplying both sides by sine of 40, we get a value for sine θ1 of 0.964 and lots of other digits, and then keeping those digits in your calculator and doing shift sine or inverse sine of both sides should give you a value for θ1 of 74.6 degrees. And you could just round that up to the nearest whole number if you want, so that's approximately equal to 75 degrees. Lastly, part E says complete the diagram above to show the path that the ray of light takes in air. Well, because we've just calculated the angle of refraction here in air to be about 75 degrees, then we need to show that happening. And because we're going from a more dense to a less dense material, then the light is going to bend away from the normal. So it's going to bend out this way rather than towards the normal here. So we could draw the refracted ray like this and label the angles. So if this is 40 degrees for the angle of incidence, then this is the angle of refraction here, 75 degrees, measured between the normal and the refracted ray. Lastly, question 5 says a ray of light passes from air into a liquid. The liquid has a refractive index of 1.46. So there's your air on the top and your liquid on the bottom, and we've got the normal drawn there as the dashed line. We've then got some angles labelled as well. In part A it says is the angle of refraction θ1 or θ2 in this case. Well, we're going from a less dense medium to a denser medium, and our angle between the normal and instant ray here in air is 70 degrees, so that's going to be θ1. And that means the angle of refraction here, which is labelled with the question mark, is the angle between the refracted ray and the normal in the liquid, which is our denser medium. So that means we can say here the angle of refraction is θ2 since this is in the denser medium. Part B says calculate the angle of refraction. So we want to calculate that angle θ2. We know that n, the refractive index, is 1.46 and angle θ1 is 70 degrees from the diagram. So writing down our equation, we have n equals sine θ1 over sine θ2, substituting in the numbers gives 1.46 equals sine 70 over sine of θ2, and cross multiplying here to get sine of θ2 on its own on the left hand side, we can essentially just swap these two values round, so we get sine of θ2 equals sine of 70 divided by 1.46, and if you do that in your calculator, you should get a value for sine of θ2 of 0.643 and so on, and then keeping those digits on your calculator and doing inverse sine or shift sine, then you should get a value for θ2 of 40 degrees. That's all for this video, folks. I hope you found it useful. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.